Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I watched many people like this guy right here in my life. I listened to them. This is Piers Morgan. I watched a lot of interviews in order to learn questions, to learn answers to questions, to see how people think, how they process the information, what kind of arguments they have, uh, you know, to certain questions that are asked, and to understand the behavior, the dynamics of human being. I have to tell you that I watched, yesterday, 2 days ago, an interview conducted by this guy because I didn't know how to address. I didn't know his title, so I had to go to Wikipedia. That's why I have a picture of him here. And I don't know what is this guy? What exactly his title is, besides being a bot or paid or a weasel. He's born on March 30th. Oh my. Is an English broadcaster, journalist, writer, and television personality. Okay, so this guy, I decided that he by far is the most dishonest, ass-kissing he's not a journalist. How should I put it? Television guy. Out of all others that I have ever seen, and I've seen a lot of them. I know that what's her name, Anna Poor, another garbage. She comes close. The same kind of garbage, telling a narrative and being very rude and talking more than the guest. That's what this guy does. And that's one. And there's two more guys. I think they're from CNN. I know they're from CNN. I think there are some Arabs or something, and I saw them in between interviews. They're very, very talking too much, rude, interrupting, and just a character hit. That's what they are, trying to destroy your character. So what prompted me to come to the conclusion that this Piers Morgan is the worst piece of over there? The interview he conducted, the part two of the interview he conducted with Andrew Tate in Bucharest, Romania. I covered the first part, which was it was 1 hour 15 minutes. I watched it. I made 5 videos on that, analyzing the weaselness of this guy and how he gets smacked by Andrew Tate. Piers Morgan posted the second part of that interview. It's all about Israel, Palestinians, and that. I've never seen anybody, not even the he's not Jewish, Jewish journalists, or however you want to call them, TV personalities, being such weasels when dealing with that issue, attacking Andrew Tate. Now, as a disclaimer, I will post this video in the description box below. I will not play it. It's about 30 minutes, if I remember correctly, 35 minutes. This guy, which, as a disclaimer, I am not a supporter, a fan of this guy. He says a lot of things that are true, and he says it with courage and blunt talking. So I like that. He says a few things I don't like. I'm not a fan of him. I would support him, because he seems to be a certain kind of force in the world. And I'm not going to discuss if it's a good force, a bad force. A good force for some, a bad force for others. He's portrayed as a crazy and far this and far right and destroying and so on. I disagree with that. So in this interview, where we have this guy and where is the other guy? This guy right here, I don't know, he interviews Andrew Tate as if Piers Morgan's parents were hanged by Andrew Tate. This is how he defends and how he, besides being illogical, leaving Andrew Tate no room to answer, interrupting him, awful. And attacking, if you're not agreeing with what I say, regardless of the evidence or lack of, you're a bad person, how awful you are. This is the garbagest of the garbagest, right? Garbage, okay, more garbage than everybody else, in my direct experience. And I watched many weasels. I'm sorry, this is my assessment. Go and watch this video, and even if you agree with one side, the accepted side of Mr. Piers Morgan, even if you agree with that, the interview is not an interview where you say, well, you know, the interviewer pressed the guest. No, accuses the guest, speaks more than the guest by far. About 80% of the whole interview is Piers Morgan talking and framing this guy and explaining to this guy who actually he asks him question. So when you interview someone, you are supposed to ask the question, then you follow up and you follow up and follow up. But you don't make your lecture the point of the interview. You want to hear what your guest has to say, not what you say. So when Piers Morgan is just like lecturing Andrew Tate, when Andrew Tate answers and gives him his point of view, this guy is like not a debate, because not Andrew Tate doesn't have the same time and doesn't have the same authority in the interview as the other guy. The other guy conducts the interview. Well, you have rights as well during an interview, but that guy is continuously destroying Andrew Tate's answer by stopping him, interrupting him, calling him this, painting him in that, then lecturing how things are based on a fracture of the information he picks to make his point. When the other guy smacks him with evidence from the other side or things that Piers Morgan ignored in order to make his point being valid, he's going to interrupt him. He's going to, oh, you don't believe that? Well, that's exactly what I said. But that's what, you don't believe that. That means if you believe that, you are Hamas. And Hamas, we know, they're terrorists. So therefore, by association, you must be. It is awful, awful, awful. I mean, I have never had a good opinion or assessment, let's put it better, assessment of this weasel right here. I have never had one. But the interview with Andrew Tate, and again, it's not the interview with Andrew Tate, it's the subject. This guy, I don't know who pays him, I don't know what crimes he committed in the past, I don't know what children he did, or whatever he did, and they have him somewhere. You don't act like that unless your life is in peril. And it seems like Piers Morgan's life is in peril on this subject. And in none other subject I've seen this guy so much like, my God, what happens to you? No logic, no journalistic integrity, or at least professionalism in the interview. And he seems like he's not promoting. I have never seen anybody, even let's say people from certain groups, promoting and defending an idea, an issue, as this guy. You're like, what's going on with you? Andrew Tate killed your parents or something? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Go and watch it. You're gonna, watch this guy, and it has 4.2 million views. And probably is gonna have more from you, but it doesn't matter. Maybe this will help you, if needed be, to understand that this guy is the worst of the worst. And he is Piers Morgan. Well, as I said about Andrew Tate, it's just that he shows this side 100% in this interview with Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate is fast, has the information, and is courageous, and smacks around Piers. And Piers is an asshole. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.